Hey, genuine followers and fans, are you feeling fine and dandy today? It's Professor Suresh, altruistic, happy to be back for my 44th video in pipeline for publication on YouTube today, 13th of July 2020. Topic for discussion today is, are you a human being? Prove it then. A human is a member of the species Homo sapiens, which means wise man in Latin. Careless, Linnaeus put humans in the mammalian order of primates. Humans are a type of hominid, and chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans are the closest living relatives. Humans are mammals. They are social animals. They usually live in groups. They help and protect each other. They care for the children. Not really now. Humans are bipedal, which means they walk on two legs. Humans have a very complex brain, which is much larger than that of other living apes. They use language, make ideas, and feel emotions. This brain and the fact that arms are not needed for walking, not really. We need to swing the arms for walking. Let's humans use tools. Humans use tools far more than any other species, according to Charles Darwin's theory of evolution that you would have studied in school if you had done that properly. All humans originated from monkeys. They may be the reason why so many are still behaving like apes. Humans have a long period of development after birth. Their life depends less on instinct than other animals and more on learning. Humans are also born with their brains not so well developed as those of other mammals. This makes for an unusually long childhood, and which makes family life important. If their brains were better developed at birth, they would be larger, and this would make the birth more difficult. In birth, the baby's head has to go through the birth canal, a passageway through the mother's pelvis. In normal deliveries, nowadays they don't let normal deliveries happen. People are so greedy for money, hospitals and medical doctors. Many animals use signs and sounds to communicate with each other. Even the extraterrestrials are like that. They don't talk. They are using the light and telepathy for communication. But humans have a complex system called language. It allows them to express ideas by using words. Humans are capable of making abstract ideas and communicating them to others. Human language can express things that are not present, or talk about events that are not happening at the time. The things might be elsewhere, and the events may also have occurred at another place or time. No known animals have a system of communication that is as elaborate as human language. By using words to communicate with each other, humans make complex communities with laws, traditions, and customs. Humans like to understand the world around them. They try to explain things through myth, science, and philosophy. Wanting to understand things has helped humans make important discoveries. Humans are the only species living today known to build fires to cook their food and wear clothes. Humans use more technology than any other animal on earth ever has. Humans like things that are beautiful and like to make art, literature, and music. Humans use education and teaching to pass on skills, ideas, and customs to the next generations. Humans are part of the animal kingdom. They are mammals, which mean that they give birth to the young, and females feed their babies with the breast milk. Humans belong to the order of primates. Apes like gorillas and orangutans are also primates. The closest living relatives of humans are the two chimpanzee species, the common chimpanzee and the bonobo. Scientists have examined the genes of humans and chimpanzees and compared their DNA, the basic building architecture. The study showed that 99% of the DNA of humans and chimpanzees is the same. They are our ancestors. Biologists explain the similarity between humans and other hominids by their descent from a common ancestor. Humans are part of a subfamily called the homininae or hominins. Inside the hominids are great apes. A theory called the Sahara pump theory has been used to tell how different species of plants and animals moved from Africa to the Middle East and then elsewhere. Early humans may have moved from Africa to other parts of the world in the same way. The first truly modern humans seem to have appeared between 300,000 and 200,000 years ago in East Africa. In paleontology, 200,000 years are a short time. So scientists speak of a recent single origin of humans. The early humans later moved out from Africa. By about 90,000 years ago, they had moved into Eurasia. This was the area where Neanderthals Homo neanderthalensis had been living for a long time, at least 350,000 years. By about 42 to 44,000 years ago, Homo sapiens had reached Western Europe, including Britain. In Europe and Western Asia, Homo sapiens replaced the Neanderthals by about 35,000 years ago. The details of this event are not known. At roughly the same time, Homo sapiens arrived in Australia. Their arrival in the Americas was much later, about 15,000 years ago. All these earlier groups of modern man are hunter-gatherers. Early human history is commonly divided into three ages. The time periods are labeled with the material used for tools: the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. Up to about 10,000 years ago, most humans were great hunter-gatherers. They did not live in one place but moved around as the seasons changed. Nomads. The start of planting crops for food, called farming, made the Neolithic Revolution. Some people chose to live in settlements. This also led to the invention of metal tools and the training of animals. About 6,000 years ago, the first proper civilizations began in places like Egypt, India, and Syria. The people formed governments and armies for protection. They competed for area to live and resources, and sometimes they fought with each other. About 4,000 years ago, some states took over or conquered other states and made empires. Examples include ancient Greece and the Roman Empire. Humans can now change the environment to solve problems. In early times, humans usually settled near to water and other natural resources. In modern times, if people need things, they can transport them from somewhere else. So basing a settlement close to resources is no longer as important as it once was. Humans have a large effect on the world. Humans are at the top of the food chain and are generally not eaten by any animals. Humans have been described as super predators because of this. Because of industry and other reasons, humans are said to be a big cause of global climate change. You know about global warming and all that. We are the root cause by contaminating everything, right from air, water, ambient sound levels. Humans are supposed to have sixth sense of differentiating or thinking through. Hence, they are considered as a super creature, superior compared to other animals. I don't agree with that. Humans are not as strong as other primates of the same size. An average female orangutan is at least 3 times as strong as an average human. The average human male needs 7 to 8 hours sleep a day. People who sleep less than this are generally not as healthy. A child needs more sleep, 9 to 10 hours on average. The human life cycle is quite like most other mammals. The young grow inside the female mother for 9 months. After this time, the baby is pushed after the woman's vagina, the birth canal. However, unlike most other mammals, human childbirth is somewhat dangerous. Babies' heads are large and the mother's pelvic bones are not very wide. Since people walk on 2 legs, their hips are fairly narrow. This means that birth can be difficult. Humans have 4 stages in their lives: childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and old age. Life expectancy is how long you are expected to live. Psychology is a study of how the human mind works. The human brain is the main controller of what a person does. Everything from moving and breathing to thinking is done by the brain. The human neocortex is huge compared with other mammals and gives us our thinking ability and the ability to speak and understand language. Neurology is a study of how the brain works. Psychology is a study of how and why people think and feel. Many aspects of life are also influenced by the hormone system, including growth and sexual development. The hormonal system, especially in pituitary gland, is partly controlled by the brain. Human behavior is hard to understand, so sometimes psychologists study animals because they may be simpler and easier to know. Psychology overlaps with many other sciences, including medicine, biology, computer science, and linguistics. Language, at its most basic, is talking, reading, and writing. The study of language is called linguistics. Humans have the most complicated languages on earth. Although almost all animals communicate, human language is unique. Its use of syntax and its huge learned vocabulary are its main features. There are over 7,300 languages spoken around the world. The world's most spoken first language is Mandarin Chinese. And the most spoken language is English. This of course includes speakers of English as a second language. Humans often categorize themselves by race or ethnicity. Modern biologists know that human gene sequences are very similar compared to many other animals. This is because of the recent single origin of modern humans. This is one reason why there is only one human race. Ethnic groups are often linked by linguistic, cultural, ancestral, and national or regional ties. Race and ethnicity can lead to different social treatment called racism. Religion is a belief or faith in a higher being, spirit, or any system of ideas that a group of people believe in. To have faith in a belief is to have the belief without proof that it is true. Faith can bring people together because they all believe in the same thing. Some of the things religions talk about are what happens after death, why humans exist, how humans came to exist, creation, and what is good to do and not to do, morality. Some people are very religious, some people believe in one all-powerful God, some people believe in more than one God, some people are atheists who do not believe in God. And some people are agnostics who are not sure if there is God, like in Newton. A war is a lethal fight between large groups of people, usually countries or states. A war involves the use of lethal weapons as both sides try to kill the other. It is estimated that during the 20th century, between 167 and 189 million humans died because of war. The people who fight for a state in wars are called soldiers. The people who fight in wars but not as for a state are usually called fighters. Modern wars are very different from wars 1,000 or even 100 years ago. Modern war involves sabotage, terrorism, propaganda, guerrilla warfare, and including cyber war, bio war, like spreading diseases, AIDS, pandemic, novel, COVID-19, things like that. In modern day wars, civilians, people who are not soldiers, are often targets. An example of this is the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the end of World War II. The bombs killed as many as 140,000 people in Hiroshima and another 80,000 in Nagasaki by the end of 1945, about half on the days of the bombings itself. Since then, thousands have more have died from wounds or illness because of exposure to radiation released by the bombs. In both cities, the overwhelming majority of the dead were civilians. That usually happens in wars. Mass extinction. In Germany, Austria, and Great Britain, conventional bombs are used. About 60,595 British and 550,000 German civilians were killed by planes bombing cities. Humans have characteristics, prominent attributes or aspects, a distinguishing quality. Some of these are good, called as virtues. Some are bad, called vices. The human brain is capable of higher order activities. We experience a range of emotions and possess self-awareness in addition to consciousness. There are no greater treasures than the highest human qualities such as compassion, courage, and hope. Not even tragic accident or disaster can destroy such treasures of the heart. Right from childhood, our parents and teachers tried to inculcate various good qualities in us. These qualities are known to be the true mark of a good human being. It is up to the individuals to imbibe these in order to become a good person and to lead a happy life. In today's fast-paced world, many of these human qualities are either low on priority or are forgotten by some people, especially Generation Y and Generation Z. Personality is defined as a characteristic set of behaviors, cognitions, and emotional patterns that evolve from biological and environmental factors. While there is no generally agreed upon definition of personality, most theories focus on motivation and psychological interactions with one's environment. Trait-based personality theories, such as those defined by Raymond Cattell, define personality as traits that predict a person's behavior. On the other hand, more behaviorally based approaches define personality through learning and habits. Nevertheless, most theories view personality as relatively stable. The study of the psychology of personality, called personality psychology, attempts to explain the tendencies that underlie differences in behavior. Many approaches have been taken on to study personality, including biological, cognitive, learning, and trait-based theories, as well as psychodynamic and humanistic approaches. Trait is a distinguishing feature of a personal nature. The theory of personality traits postulates that people naturally deal with the different situations and interact with the environment in different ways. The big five big personality traits are: 1. Extraversion, extent to which individuals engage with the external world and experience enthusiasm and other positive emotions. 2. Agreeableness, extent to which individuals value cooperation and social harmony, honesty, decency, and trustworthiness. Agreeable individuals also tend to have an optimistic view of human nature. Conscientiousness, extent to which individuals value planning, possess the quality of persistence, and are achievement oriented. 4th one, neuroticism, extent to which individuals experience negative feelings and the tendency to emotionally overact. 5th one, openness to experience, extent to which individuals exhibit intellectual curiosity, self-awareness, and individualism or non-conformers. Furthermore, a number of mini markers of each personality trait have been defined and studied, such as talkative for extroversion, sympathetic for agreeableness, disorganized, reverse coded for conscientiousness, temperamental for neuroticism, and imaginative for openness to experience. Now, list of positive traits. This is not exhaustive. Balanced, brave, bright, brilliant, calm, capable, caring, cautious, certain, charitable, chirpy, compassionate, confident, constrained, consistent, cooperative, courageous, conscientiousness, courteous, decisive, dedicated, dependable, determined, devoted, disciplined, driven, efficient, egalitarian, empathetic, enduring, enterprising, erudite, faithful, farsighted, flexible, focused, forgiving, friendly, frugal, generous, gentle, giving, graceful, grateful, hardworking, harmonious, helpful, honest, humble, humorous, idealistic, imaginative, independent, industrious, innovative, insightful, inspiring, invigorating, joyful, just, kind, logical, loving, loyal, mature, methodical, modest, motivating, noble, nurturing, obedient, open-minded, optimistic, organized, outgoing, passionate, patient, perceptive, persevering, poised, polite, practical, professional, punctual, realistic, reliable, resourceful, respectful, responsible, selfless, sensitive, simple, sincere, spontaneous, stable, strong-willed, tactful, thoughtful, thrifty, tolerant, trustworthy, understanding, unflappable, agreeable, ambitious, analytical, assertive, astute, attentive, aware, visionary, vital, warm, willing, wise. Now, list of negative traits: aggressive, apathetic, arrogant, belligerent, biased, boastful, boorish, bossy, carelessness, careless, caustic, complacent, conceited, conniving, controlling, cowardly, curt, cynical, deceitful, dishonest, disrespectful, egocentric, evil, exacting, fearful, finicky, fussy, garrulous, glum, greedy, glumpy, harried, harsh, haughty, hostile, ignorant, immature, impatient, inconsiderate, indecisive, insensitive, interfering, irresponsible, jealous, killjoy, languid, lazy, lax, loner, malicious, materialistic, mean, miserly, moody, knave, narrow-minded, nasty, obnoxious, obstinate, outspoken, pessimistic, petulant, pompous, possessive, quarrelsome, quixotic, rambunctious, rebellious, resentful, rigid, rude, sarcastic, scornful, selfish, spiteful, stingy, stubborn, superficial, taciturn, thoughtfulness, touchy, uncouth, ungrateful, unreliable, unscrupulous, untidy, vain, vengeful, vulgar, wicked. So now I have listed all the good and the bad traits. Even if you don't have any positive traits, see to that you don't have any negative traits. One should learn to strike a balance and constantly strive to inculcate positive qualities, 13 human qualities that one needs to have to succeed in work and life are 1. Be empathetic, 2. Be intuitive, be creative, be passionate, be a lifelong learner, be a good listener, be persuasive, be responsible and kind, be a leader, to be honest and have integrity, be courageous, be self-aware, be wholehearted. Brent Brown has defined 10 guideposts for wholehearted living: cultivating authenticity, letting go of what people think; cultivating self-compassion, letting go of perfectionism; cultivating resilient spirit, letting go of numbing and powerfulness; cultivating gratitude and joy, letting go of scarcity and fear of the dark; cultivating intuition and trusting faith, letting go of the need for certainty; cultivating creativity, letting go of comparison; cultivating play and rest, letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol and productivity as self-worth; cultivating calm and stillness, letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle; cultivating meaningful work, letting go of self-doubt and supposed to; cultivating laughter, song and dance, letting go of being cool and always in control. 15 simple traits of a truly good person: honesty in relationships, compliment others when deserved, call your parents regularly. Call in the sense take care of your parents regularly. It's not a one-day affair, remembering your parents just for one day. There is a Western practice, they have a day earmarked for everything in life. Barbarians. Politeness, kindness to everyone, generous with their belongings, remember their manners, think of others, go the extra mile, kind to loved ones, smile, make the best of every situation, make friends easily, do not take things for granted, consistency. Awareness is one of the greatest gifts that existence has given to human beings. All spiritual masters tell their students, become aware, increase your awareness, and they suggest various methods to do so. Animals too have awareness, but that is more instinct driven. They are aware of hunger or thirst or of danger and death, but purely by instinct. Animal awareness is mostly about the present moment, although some awareness does come to them from past instinct. Animal awareness is mostly about the, as I said, present moment, although some awareness does come to them from past conditionings too. A human being is aware of himself, his dear and near ones, and his environment, but more than that, he is aware of the past and future, his thoughts and emotions. Awareness, however, is a double-edged sword. With increasing awareness, one does find life to be more fulfilling. However, it is awareness that brings in two negative emotions that drives us, namely fear and greed. An animal knows fear only instinctively, it does not know greed. Great. We know that there is a tomorrow, that we have to provide for future needs as well as plan for contingencies like disease, poverty, infirmity and death. This creates worry and agony on the one hand, but also enables us to plan in order to secure the future on the other hand. If we did not have awareness of the future, we would not be as miserable or anxious, but we would also not be prepared for any future situations. Knowing that our current levels of awareness are not enough to make our lives peaceful and joyous is often the first step on the path to spiritual realization. Thus begins the journey of becoming more aware through watching our breath, concentration and meditation. The resume virtues are the ones you list on your resume, the skills that you bring to the job market and that contribute to external success. The eulogy virtues are deeper. They are the virtues that get talked about at your funeral, the ones that exist at the core of your being. Whether you are kind, brave, honest or faithful, what kind of relationships you form. Eulogy virtues are more important in life for everybody. There is no doubt that human beings are social animals. Really. Worse than animals, really. The way most of the people behave nowadays. Thieves believe that even carnivores attack other species only if they are hungry. Humans are not like that. You cannot trust them. You cannot make out their true color. You have to watch their actions. Whatever comes out of the mouth and the back, it's all sheer lies. Thieves believe that sinners go to hell after death and virtuous ones go to heaven. So decide where you want to go after your soul leaves your body. Analyze your character, traits, qualities, virtues, or vices, good deeds you have done. Population explosion has made the world highly materialistic and turned human beings as savages, worse than animals. Animals take care of the family, but humans do not. Humans are only concerned about themselves, very greedy, jealous, sadists, and willing to stoop down to any level to attain their aspirations. Paradox of happiness is a myth. Where is humanity? Life is a circle. What goes around certainly comes around like a boomerang. If you are not concerned about others, society will reciprocate the same way. Paradox of happiness will ultimately lead to misery only. Root cause of all enmity on earth is because of our attachment to land, women, and gold, property, etc. In Tamil, we will say man pen rom. How many souls manage to take its materialistic possession when it departs the body? Absolutely zero, nil. Most of the people are living in a virtual world, addicted to social networking, banned drugs, substances, illicit relationships, deriving sadistic pleasure in others' suffering. India was once popular for its rich cultural heritage. It has gone down the drain, mainly attributed to aping the Western culture, living like barbarians. One can never attain happiness through materialistic possessions. As a matter of fact, the person living on the streets without any such possessions is the happiest person on earth, because that person doesn't need to worry about anything. One can never buy happiness through love. Nowadays, when I mention the term love, people are thinking of something else. It's atrocious. How many affluent people are able to eat food they like, sleep peacefully like a baby, trust the so-called dear and ear? They manage to put up a nice show, but their lives are so pathetic. One can never judge a book by the cover. It's high time to forego your vicious qualities and cultivate virtuous qualities. We are mortal, but if people remember you for your good qualities and deeds, even after your demise, you become immortal. Don't think by confessing your sins, you are absolved of your sins, or by sharing your sins, by depositing some money in the temples, places of religious worship, will absolve you of all the sins. That never happens. And some business people include one God's name as a partner. So they are making the partner also a sinner. I mean the God also is a sinner. Great. Debates, discussion on topics like this can go on forever. However, let me call it a day. We'll meet again real soon. Rest in peace and harmony. Some of the view statements expressed are solely mine, based on knowledge gained over 6 decades. Most of it is really bad. Always watch these videos with closed captions, subtitles for absolute 100% comprehension as per recommendation zillion times so far. I know I rushed through to complete the presentation within 20 minutes maximum. This is a time limit. I had set myself to retain the viewer's attention as a norm. I know nowadays I exceed this time limit since I make honest attempts to cover the selected topic more elaborately, besides articles and books published recently. Besides, I had my own salt and pepper and masala based on my personal experience so far in my life, and also intuition. Stay at home as much as possible to maintain social distancing. Attribute to the pandemic novel COVID-19 and prolong your lifespan. Lead a healthy life, not a filthy life. God alone can put a stop to natural or unnatural events, maybe bio-war, cyber war events like pandemics, which may lead to apocalypse and extinction of all human species on earth. All the best. Peace.